All right. So, guys, it's Brian. This week was a pretty hard week mentally. It was tough. I'm sure you all seen the market conditions. It was one of those weeks to where accounts were blown, and my account was blown. You know, let's just get that out the way. Blew my account on Thursday. I was oversized. I thought I was invincible. Plus, I had daily payouts on my Take Profit Trader. Oh, for context, I'm trading Take Profit Trader accounts just because I like the daily payouts, and it's pretty much instant deposits into your bank account via Plaid. Um, so yeah, I was over the buffer, and I was just taking advantage of daily payouts for a while. This week, I took about $800 out. I requested some money on Tuesday and then on Wednesday. I already had a bit of a buffer by this time by Tuesday, so I requested like 600, like 615, and then on Wednesday I just requested the whole $200 I made. Then on Thursday I got greedy and I was oversized. It was This week was already like so choppy, and I thought I seen a move that wasn't there. I went in full size and I pretty much blew the account. This $788 you see and this 658, these two were actually just combines. These are just combine trades. I started over. So after I blew the account, I reset it, and then after I reset it, I blew it again because Take Profit Trader lets you pay for the back to funded. I paid for the back to funded, and then I blew that too, trying to quickly make the $1,500 buffer so that I can start taking out, money right away, which was dumb. So then that was my last reset on that account. So then I ended up just buying four 25K accounts. So just working on the combines. I won't be back funded until probably Thursday or Friday, depending on how the market next week shows. Yeah. So that was my week. So let's just start off with my stats. So on Monday, it was just a back and forth trading session on Monday. Took 3 positions. I got in short. I got edged by 1 tick. I think this was 1 point. This was like 2 ticks, less than a point. Price. I got in short at 68.90, 68.1975. Price ran straight to my TP1. Edged me, then instantly shot up, stopped me out at 68.29. I was upset, but it is what it is. Then I took this trade. I sized down. Same thing on Monday. I wanted to stay short below 68.33. That was like my bias zone for the day to remain short. Actually, the bias zone overall on the daily chart was 68.74. Is a daily level, and I'll get into that a little bit in the video too. So I'm staying short, even though we broke above my current bias zone. This was just an overshoot, and I could tell it was an overshoot from this candle right here. This was a strong bullish engulfing candle, but the volume was less than the previous candle. And then on the DOM, I was seeing a lot of orders battling around 68.40. So when I seen that, we didn't break above the previous day's high. And as we started to come down, I got back into this position at 68.33, targeting a 2-hour move. I was ultimately targeting a move to 6,800. This is pretty much the same move, the same setup that I was targeting here, because the move was clean. It was just an overshoot. That's what stopped me out. But after being stopped out, It still looked weak. So I got in. I came down. Price came down. It came to my TP1. I did not manage this trade correctly. I didn't exit. I didn't try to scale anything because we had 10, 20, 30, 35 minutes of straight selling pressure with increasing volume, and on the DOM, it showed that we can continue to go lower. So I was looking to maybe scale out some at the low of day, which was pretty much just the breakdown of my previous edge. I got edged again. And then I added, just being stubborn. Price came back, fully stopped me out. Yeah. Then I pretty much just took a scalp and I pretty much made the money back. This wasn't really good trading. I just wanted to get out of the loss. I didn't want to get back. I didn't want to get into drawdown where I was unable to take withdrawals. Same thing on Tuesday. Just a back and forth trading session. So I went short, made $175. Took a long, lost $500. Went back short, lost $160. Then ultimately took a short, cleaned up my losses, and brought me at $128 on the day. Cool. Now, same thing on Wednesday, just back and forth session. Short during the pre-market because this, okay. I'm not sure why my file's not uploaded there, but we'll run with it. So I was short during the pre-market during this dump. Price dumped. I had a game plan coming into the day that once price broke 68.50, I was going to get short. Of course, price breaks during the pre-market like 30 minutes before the open. Now, I wanted to get involved on this candle, but the momentum was going so fast, I couldn't get a fill. I was using limit orders. I normally use limit orders since I'm using levels. I want to get as close to my level as possible. The only time I'll use a market order is in a situation like this, to where I get in and then we have a continuation candle directly after the signal or continuation candle. Then I'll use a market order just to get in and capture the momentum. But normally I like to just use my limit orders and I'll just try to get in. I got in and I got short. I was able to scale out. I believe this was the prior day low. I scaled out some here. Price put back, stopped me out. One trade. Cool. Okay, none of these are here. Let me see if I can pull that up. All right, boom. So this was the second trade of the day. So I got in at 68.44. I hope this is. Hope you guys can see. I hope you guys can see it. Okay. So I got in at 68.44. Price just straight up went against me. I was just trying to play off the move from earlier, trying to just continue going short. I was wrong. I got stopped out. Now, at this point, I'm pretty much on tilt. I took a trade. I didn't even journal it because it wasn't even in the system. And at this point, I was just barely just trying to survive. And I realized that. After realizing that, I decided to step away. So I stopped trading. I just cut it off on Wednesday. Took the withdrawals. I took a withdrawal on Tuesday. Took the withdrawal. And I was like, all right, I need to look at the bigger picture, which I did. So actually, I'm going to pull up the bigger picture for you guys. All right. So this is my setup. This is how I look at the market every single day. I'm watching on the 1 hour. This is where my setups present themselves, and then I'm executing on the 5-minute chart, which is the type of executions that you guys see my markups on. So I trade pretty much off of pivot points where the market just has a reaction and goes the other direction and creates a solid continuation. So I got some levels here, and for context, we can start off on the weekly chart. So this is how I view the market. I start top down. I look at any weekly reaction. The only weekly level we have in this area is 67, 68. This is the October 10th incident when Trump mentioned over 100% tariffs on China. Then I zoom down and I look at pivot points on the daily chart. Got a couple reaction levels here, 66, 62, 67, 33. This is when price continued higher. 69, 29, 25. That's when price ended up coming back to test that weekly level. Came, made a lower high, and then came down. I did not add any pivot points on this way down because since that October 10th incident, we have just been basing at the 65, 50 psychological level. So that has been the base of support for pretty much all of this movement right here. These levels are still in play because once price gets to these levels, there are still reactions. I usually remove them once reactions stop happening, where we just end up cutting through it. Like this would have been a reason why I would remove this level, the 66, 62, but we instantly reclaimed it. We tried to reject it and then we reclaimed it. And then on this day, we actually held underneath 67.33. So these levels are still valid. I keep them on my chart until they're not valid anymore. Just got this level, 66, 68, 26.75. This is pretty much from this week after that consolidation. This lower high is still valid for one more day if we don't continue. If we don't continue and we pull back down to this 68.26, this level stays in play. If on Monday we open up and we continue higher and we close above 6,900, I'm just going to remove this level. And then this will be the new daily pivot point for my system. All right, so now that that's out the way, let's get into this week. So this is how I'm looking at the market. Monday through Friday. There we go. Just going to have those in. Let's come to Monday. So this is Monday's price action. I'm watching it on the 5-minute chart and the hourly chart. On Monday, I should have stayed away. So looking at this, I'm a continuation trader. So if we're heading higher, I'm just going to look for it to continue higher based on the hourly chart. All of these pivot points on the 5-minute charts, these are clean moves. You know, if you're an intraday scalper and you're just looking to play some reactions, this is great. You can make plenty of money in this. Me, I don't like to base any of my setups off of this. I like to base my setups on the hourly. So initially at the open, we head higher and then we dump. We head higher and then we just straight up dump. Buyer step back in. Now, longs are in play. But the very next candle, the very next hourly candle, we dump again. This is pretty much, at least for my session, between 9:30 and 11, maybe 12. This was all just chop. From 9:30 to about 12. This is all just chop. You get this, and as you can see why I ended up getting short here. At the time, this level was that blue box, that 68.33 level, 33 zone I had. You see why you get short. A rejection, and we're heading lower. Same thing. Now we head higher, we pretty much just overshoot the levels, and then we start the dump again. Now, I got in short on both of those, and I got blown out of the water. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about that. Now we're going to go on to Tuesday. Tuesday, there's no continuation whatsoever on the hourly chart. This is the open. We opened with a doji candle. Pretty much just screaming it's going to be a sideways a day at 9 a.m. Do I step away? No. I'm a Deegan. I'm still going to try to trade. I'm going to try to make money every day. We head higher. We overshoot. 11 a.m. comes. We sink. Huge sink. Now you're thinking, oh, well, I'm thinking, oh, okay, we may be going short here. Nope. We pop immediately, but then still fail. And then this is how it looks on the 5-minute chart. Nothing. In conditions like these, you got to just end up staying out of the market because there's nothing for us to do. Well, there's nothing for me to do, at least. Like, that's something that I've really had to like hone in on with my system, specifically trading these continuations. In this, there's nothing I can do. I kind of just got to take a backseat and chill. I still show up and I still look at the market every day, but there's no follow through anywhere. And I'm still attempting it. I'm still trying. That's what leads to blown accounts. So let's go to Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Now, look, you could have made a lot of money longs on Wednesday playing the recovery all the way up. But if you were watching the market during the pre-market, because I sit here and I game plan, I come to my desk like 8:30 and I'm game planning. And you see this huge hourly dump. We dump, what is this? What is it, about 50 points almost? About 40, 50 points. We just straight up dump. Game plan out the window. Only thing I'm thinking now is continuation shorts, because I already was planning on taking a short on Wednesday underneath 68.50. It was in the plan. It happened during the pre-market, and I watched this thing melt. I was only able to get involved here and take a little bit and then a break even on the rest. And then we just chop around. We're heading higher, but this is like the worst action to head higher. This trickle grind higher. Everything looks like it's gonna fail. Like, as we head higher, look at these wicks. We're heading higher. Wick to the downside. Reject, 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 reject. Overshoot. Starts to head lower. Reclaims, overshoots, starts to head lower. Reclaims, overshoot, starts to head lower. Come on. That's pretty hard to trade as far as if you're playing continuations. And I'm not looking long. Anything underneath 68.50, I'm just looking short. So since I'm trading the continuations, I set my bias zones, and then I just stick with my bias underneath the level for the day. Now that I have this 68, 26, 75 level, now I can play support plays above it, but initially my bias was 68.50, long above, short below. So all of this at the open, to me, was just a healthy pullback. All of it. It looked like it was just a healthy pullback just to go lower, which is why I flipped long and short. Now, this was pretty much the last day of a normal trading week. Before I just pretty much just went on tilt. And I kind of went on tilt a little bit here, but I ended the day green and I was able to manage it. But I was on tilt by this point. Now, here comes the day of the blow up, Thursday. Look at this work of art. You know, this is, perfect, clean continuation. I should have made $1 million this day, right? No. Look at this. Reject. This is actually my bigger picture daily time frame rejection area. This is the lower high that confirmed to me that we are in a downtrend. We reject this huge. Same thing, like in the pre-market, overshoot it, and we start heading lower. So now at the open, what am I looking for? I'm looking for us to get short. I get short, stop down. Fine. Get short again, stopped out. At this point, I'm just upset. And my execution just went out the window. Like there was no more execution at this point. Not wasted. I traded 3 days and I barely survived, just making small profits. Luckily, I took payouts from Take Profit, so I was still putting money in my pocket. But performance-wise, I'm not getting any follow through. I'm not getting anything. And now I'm just frustrated. So I pretty much just send my account, use the entire available balance with 30 micros, and we get a 10-point retracement. And I actually think it was here, now that I'm thinking about it. It was actually, I don't have a picture of it because I didn't chart it, and I don't have the data because once you blow the account, the trade to the sinker just disables itself. So I don't have the data and I don't have a picture. I just know I was trading like I was just trading. So it was around here. I've seen us support 68.50 for so long. And then after yesterday, this huge reclaim, I'm thinking, okay, we're just gonna head higher. No matter what my bias is, no matter what I think, we're gonna head higher. So I actually get long here because this, I believe, we reclaimed the opening range low. Let me see. This was the opening range low. So I use the 15-minute opening range just as a guide to help me. It's just for directional bias. It's not fully integrated into my system, but so $45, yeah, right there. Boom. So we reclaim the opening range low. Now, I know I say I'm a continuation trader, but in this market conditions, as you see, everything has been reversing. So instead of continuing short, I got long right here and I set my account. And here we'll mark it up. So this is pretty much how I look at this, is how I trade. So I'll get in somewhere right here on this support of 68.50. We'll say this is 68.60. Stop loss would be down here at this extreme. I don't need that much space. I usually give about a point, maybe a point and a half. So my stop loss would have been 68.43. 68.43.50. Now we're aiming for one to 2 R moves. we're gonna say this is 60 just to be clean. 68, 60 long, or long 68, 60. 68, 60. And this is exactly how I blew it up too. So now we got about 17 points of risk. I want to make about 17 points. So my target is pretty much opening range high. I'm expecting this to reclaim everything. 17 and a half points. So 17 and a half. Yeah, I'm pretty much expecting this. 58, 77.50. And I actually didn't even get to chart this, because once I was in, I was just so locked in on the charts that nothing else really mattered. I just wanted to make some money, because I was in profits a bit, but we ended up blowing it. And then I'm looking at it. I actually remember exactly how I felt when I was in this. I was pretty much pissed when I was in this position. All right. So this is what I'm targeting. This is what I'm aiming for. This is what I'm looking at. I'm like, all right, it's time for us to just head higher like we've been doing all week. We fake everybody out, then we head higher. We get all the way up to 68, 68, 75. Get up here. This is not even half an R. This position is not really even working. This is pretty much just me, just like in it. I'm in full size, and I'm looking to make as much as I can. We reverse, and we just dump. This, I don't know why on this chart, since I was using micros, I still got stopped out. I actually don't think I even had the margin for this. No, I'm thinking about it. That's probably why I got stopped. That's exactly why I got stopped out. So, yeah, this is the trade that blew my account. And honestly, this is the first time I'm even reviewing this trade, this setup, because of the tilt, and I kind of just wanted to move on. So you guys are actually, this is my thought process when I'm reviewing my trades. This is my thought process when I'm in a trade and I'm setting it up. Yeah, this is how I lost that account. Now, am I upset? Damn right. Am I back to just normal tilt? Sort of, but you kind of just move on. You're gonna blow accounts as a trader. It is what it is. That's why we use prop firms. We're not risking our money. It's all about money in versus money out. That account cost me $100. It's not a big deal. So what I did, we can get back to my TradeZilla now. If I got it. Window. Okay, I do got it. All right. So what I did, so taking away these, we're done with those. I got myself 4 new accounts with TradeZilla. Not TradeZilla, with Take Profit Trader. So I'm already halfway through 2 of them. Actually, 2 of them I'm 3/4 completed, because I started 2 on Thursday and then I ended up just buying 2 more on Friday. I said I wasn't gonna trade Friday. You know, in the Discord I put I'm not gonna trade. So if anybody sees this, I lied. I bought 2 more on Friday, and I just wanted to pretty much start scaling with the daily payouts. So my goal for these accounts are for these 4 accounts is get them funded this month. I should have them funded by Wednesday or Thursday, maybe Friday, depending how the market conditions are. And then we have the holidays. These last 2 weeks of the month, between the 22nd and the 31st, I'm probably not going to be trading as much. I'm going to be very hands off. So the only real week I have is the 15th through the 19th. I'm just going to be building a buffer on those accounts. The goal is to get all those accounts over the $1,500 minimum so I can reach daily payouts. And then coming into the new year in 2026, I plan to start sizing up more with my trades, actually scaling, actually taking bigger payouts. So instead of a $300 winning day with 4 accounts, it'll be a what? $1,200 day. That's what I'm focused on. I copy traded earlier in the year. It didn't go too well, so I ended up having to dial it back. I took a trading break, went to the meetup in LA, reset myself, focused on one account, built that one account, took some payouts out of that one account. Now, ultimately, I blew the account. Now I'm resetting and I'm getting back to copy trading. Got to get my consistency back up. And yeah, this is a longer video than normal and kind of all over the place, but this is how authentic I can be with it. I'm not the best trader in the world, but I am a consistently profitable trader. I know my system. I know my edge. I still do stupid things like blow accounts by over leveraging and going tilt. It's going to happen. You're going to see it if you follow this, if you follow me. So I'll leave it there. You know, if you guys got any value, anything from the video, you know, like, comment, subscribe. If you guys are interested in coaching, I am working with Strong Trading as a coach. We're offering one-on-one coaching that's pretty much personalized to help you guys get better as a trader and to really understand your edge. And we can go over things like this, how I pretty much just go over my charts. I can help you do this. Tanner can help you do this. Lawrence also can help you do this. You got 3 great coaches who understand the markets and understand technicals. If you guys aren't ready for something like a one-on-one style yet, we also offer weekly group coaching sessions every single Monday. And I'll put the link for that in the description. But on that note, peace. Okay. I did it wrong. Now, peace.